gripping the front of Beau's shirt, pulling him closer until their tongues were entwined, the world and everyone in it diminishing with the taste of Beau's kiss. A chill ran through him, and Ethan shook it off, not wanting to relive the moment yet again. Beau seemed even more determined to test Ethan's good intentions these days, and he hated him for it. No, wait, that was a lie. He didn't hate him. He despised the man because he wanted him so fucking much it hurt. And not just in the carnal sense, although he'd grown accustomed to the ever-present physical ache that couldn't be eased, which he knew was downright stupid. He and Beau had nothing in common, aside from the fact they shared the same career. Ethan was in the closet, perfectly satisfied with keeping the eyes of the town out of his business, and Beau had recently had a come-to-Jesus moment, or some shit. Ethan didn't want to be Beau's experiment, and he damn sure didn't want something as complicated as what Beau represented. Listen here, you little piece of shit. Lay off me, understand? You're damn lucky I haven't told Ethan what a fuck-up you really are. Fucking hell. He heard Beau's warning in his head as clear as when he'd witnessed the conversation between Beau and Blake just a few minutes ago. He wanted to interrupt, to ask Beau to clarify that statement, but he had opted to sit back and let the two of them duke it out. As he peered across the large open space, Ethan's gaze landed smack dab on the one man he wanted to avoid tonight. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't turn away when Beau looked back at him. Beau's gaze was like a heat-seeking missile finding its intended target, because Ethan's blood was boiling with a desperate need to find out what Beau actually had to offer him. Sex. Only sex. It wasn't like it could be anything else, because Ethan didn't want anything more complicated than that. And as far as his life went, sex was complicated enough. I suggest you get Ethan out of your system because the guy's going to kick your ass to the curb soon enough, and I'm going to be waiting. At that point, if you want to chat about whose balls are bigger, you find me. He could still hear the sexy, lethal tone of Beau's voice, the way he put Blake right in his place without ever laying hands on him. And fuck yeah, Ethan knew he should be offended for Blake, but in truth, he honestly didn't give a shit. Blake could pick his own battles, and if he wanted to provoke Beau, then that was his business. Ethan had never claimed to be interested in Blake for his intelligence. As it was, their relationship was decidedly less serious than Blake believed it to be, and Ethan knew good and damn well that he wasn't responsible for Blake's misunderstanding of the situation. Hey, babe. Sighing, Ethan took a lengthy swallow of his beer, his eyes still locked with Beau's from across the dimly lit room. Without turning to look at Blake, he said, "Don't call me that." What? You don't usually have a problem with it? The hell he didn't, but Blake had made a habit of not listening to Ethan when he spoke, so it wasn't surprising that he acted as though this was the first time he'd heard it. Letting the silence grab him by the throat and threaten to strangle him, Ethan wished midnight would hurry the hell up. He knew he shouldn't have invited Blake, should have just attended this shindig solo, but he had an ulterior motive, keeping Beau at a safe distance. Granted, that plan had backfired almost as bad as that piece of shit truck that his brother Sawyer had bought, souped up and essentially ruined when he was a teenager. Want to find somewhere quiet? Blake asked, taking a step closer. Instinctively, Ethan visually searched the open area, checking to see who might be watching them, or worse, listening. No one. Hell, there wasn't a single person in the whole damn place who cared what he was doing. They were busy, very busy, and half of them were fucking naked, so he was the last thing on their minds. He was sure. Well, tonight he's mine, so why don't you take a seat over there and watch the show? No can do. I only like to watch when there's satisfaction to be found by everyone involved. But you go find him and don't try to think about who Ethan's really thinking about when he's fucking you. A chill ran down Ethan's spine at the memory of Beau's words. How the hell did the guy know what was going on in his head? And who the fuck was he to make a threat like that? But no matter how pissed Ethan wanted to be at Beau's imperious attitude, he was still strangely drawn to the resolute, commanding cadence he'd used and the take-no-bullshit way he had handled Blake. Fuck, it turned him on. But the truth was, Ethan was there with Blake, not Beau, and it didn't matter how much Beau was baiting him, tempting him to want something he shouldn't. He knew what he needed, or, more accurately, what he didn't need. A simple fuck buddy was worth